Again, I'm just doing a quick video update. I know that I haven't done these in a while. We had holidays and travel and not travel, but the holidays, well, and travel and over the holidays and so forth. And I haven't been as disciplined during that period to get this stuff out to you. But we're in a new year. We're starting off into January. It's already well, today's the 14th, but it's the middle of January already. Like 1 month is already cooked off of this calendar year. Like what? Crazy, right? Hashtag whoa. Anyway, so I want to talk to you guys. Three things that I want to cover with you today. First of all is Missions Fest. So we have several of you who have already started signing up on the Missions Fest sign up sheet, and I want to show you where that you've all got that email document in your email. You've got the link. If you don't, let me know. But I want to show you really quickly. This is the document, and as you can see, several people have already signed up. This is not a tremendous staffing thing. Now, Missions Fest should not be a surprise to anybody. This Amy had sent out a correspondence earlier in the fall. Hey, block out this weekend. I know that you have friends coming into town. You want to go skiing. You've got all these other objectives, but this has been forecasted to you. So this isn't a surprise. So don't say, hey, I didn't know. The spots are available. Okay, and we need a full boat here. So that we're trying to get as many student ambassadors as we can to help offset some of this. But we need ACs in particular space to make sure that we have the right message going out. And that's you. You're the right people. I hope that you get a chance to meet some of the students that you've been working with, or even some of the students that you've been trying to pursue and get back in here. We're going to be rolling out new video content. Marketing is hitting this heavy. We own the night on Saturday night, not Friday night, Saturday night. We own the night from the pre-show through even we've helped shape some of the messaging. Brian and Amanda Haggett will be emceeing and doing games. It's going to be high activity. We own the music. It's just amazing. Going to be a great night. We need our best there, and that's each one of you. And so and that's the whole weekend. It's not just on Saturday night when we do the youth rally. It's Friday. It's helping set up early in the morning at 8:30 in the morning in downtown Vancouver, no less. It's working the exhibit booth, which is primarily a grad and adult degree completion group, and so we have blocked a space for them. But we still need, because we have a lot of teachers and counselors and administrators and church officials, pastors and so forth, that will be visiting our exhibit booth during the day. We want to make sure that we have the right people to cover and communicate to them effectively the services that we can provide and who we are as a university. So please check out this sheet. You'll see that each one of these little red areas, that's all that's left, has got a drop down, and you will just select your name and put it in there. It's getting to be slim pickings for sure, but it's on the most critical time. We need people in the youth rally to help set up from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. You're like, well, that's pretty short. I can do that. Yep, you can do that. And you can just sign up for it and fill the space. But we need people here. This is where we need them, working the inquiry, the admissions and inquiry tables that we'll have set up. It's going to feel just like a fair. We're going to need tablecloths. We're going to need materials for the tables. You will have one AC, one student worker. We have 3 tables set up. One of the tables is a merch table because we're sponsoring the band. Anyway, long story short, one's a merch table, but we'll be doing that as well. Of course, all this stuff will be Trinity branded, and we need you there. High energy, excited. I realize it's a Saturday night. It's not fun. You're like, oh, I really want to go on a date. I want to smooch it up with my significant other. Totally get it. Trust me. I'm here. I'm doing the same thing. Nobody loves smooching. Nobody loves smooching with their significant other more than me. I mean, I got 4 babies. Like, I know all about it. So I understand the sacrifice that comes with Saturday night. That's like date night, right? I mean, it's like Netflix and chill. You know what I'm saying? But not this Saturday night. I need you guys at here. So we've got a few spots left. Either set up and work the event too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I promise. I'll bring Red Bull. You can just shotgun Red Bulls before the game. We'll get amped up. It'll be awesome. So please make sure you sign up. Let's fill these remaining spots and get that taken care of. Tu sabes? That means, do you understand, Paul Berry? Okay, next thing. Next thing I want to talk to you about, I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I want to talk about, how do I want to do this? I think what I want to do, let's talk about calls this week. you're right. Today's only Monday, so call activity is pretty low, right? And you're like, well, it's Monday, Matt. We've been busy. I had PSIBC. Man, I was in my car. Man, like my cat had was like coughing, was coughing up hairballs all over the place. Had to wipe up and clean up after that. And you try doing a call, admit call when your cat's coughing up hairballs. Matt, I can't do it. You can do it. And you need to be making calls. Okay, so this is Fun Matt having a fun conversation with each one of you. Okay, you guys hear this? Fun Matt. Okay, you need to be getting the calls in. Okay, the calls. Look, we have got almost 14,000 inquiries in our database. Calling, and I'm just gonna, calling 11 people in a day is not gonna work. We can't get through that. And you're like, Matt, but I was busy. I was traveling. I had this meeting. Whatever. Hey, I get it. It's difficult. There's things that are happening, but you've got to make these calls. Okay? I'm not instituting a call goal for the week yet. Asterisk. It's not happening yet, but it's going to happen if we don't get our calls up. Okay? Has to get them up. And you're saying, well, how much is up, Matt? I mean, really, I've got 900 inquiries. How many calls do you want me to make in a week? Well, making 25 calls in a week doesn't cut it. That's 5 calls a day. Unless your calendar shows that you are somewhere, and this is where we're going. I'm telling you, your calendars still aren't up to date. You've got to get them tight. If you're not somewhere other than in your home office or other than here, working in an office, doing something specific with the university like that, then I'm assuming that you're on the phone. Ringy dingy, make some calls. And it's more than 5 calls in a day. So we've got to do this. And I really think you need to be thinking somewhere in the range of 10 to 15, maybe even 20%. If you're under 1,000 inquiries in your database, 15% of those calls, if you're only hitting 15% of your total number, that's not enough. You can actually stretch that out. You should be somewhere thinking, I need to be in the neighborhood of 150 to 200 calls per week. You're like, that's insane. People are throwing down pens. Somebody's like just angry, guzzling a Red Bull right now, and he's crazy. It's not crazy. Let's just do some quick math here, okay? So 200 calls in a week divided by 5. I'm not even talking about Saturday. Just to divide that by 5. That's 40 calls in a day. That's 40 call attempts in a day. And the most of this is in the inquiry pool. So you can, if you want a hard number, there you go, 40 calls a day. That can happen. It can be done. We can do it. But you need to feel like, okay, I can do more. Right? I can hit this, I can do this, and I'm going to show Matt I can do more than 40 calls a day or whatever it is. But you need to be pushing for calls, okay? Calls. Fun, Matt? Okay? I don't want to have individual conversations with you saying, hey, you only did 12 calls this week, what the heck? And then we're going to go look at your calendar, and your calendar's not up to date, and that's not Fun, Matt. And that's a version of Matt most of you haven't seen. But we've got a lot of work to do. Okay, we've got to put all the oars in the water, and we've all got to be pushing every single day. You've got to find time to make the calls. You've got time in the day to change the oil, pet the cat, water the plants, do whatever you're doing, but you've got to find time to connect with your students. And you're like, but I do make the calls, but I just forget to log them. Shame on you. Shame on you. Log your calls. Log them, okay? Whew, that's a lot of I've said the call, we play a shot game. Every time I say call, take a shot of Red Bull. Anyway, so whatever it is, I've said that word a lot. I'm not going to say it anymore. So just do what you got to do, and we need to see the productivity go up, okay? I know we got things going on this week, but we've got to make calls. Oops, there you go. Another shot for you. Okay, so moving on from that, calls. Just took another shot. I just said it again. I can't help myself. Can't help myself. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, I'm going to stop sharing this screen. Okay, I know for a second you're going to think I'm crazy. And I get it. And you know me, I love metaphors, I love imagery, and I think that it speaks in different ways to different people. If you're Liesel and you're Mason, you probably want bullet points and you don't want metaphors, imagery. Or if you're Paul, Paul definitely, he likes bullet points. Whatever. Megan can deal with my metaphor because she knows that I'm crazy. Pam can deal with my metaphor a little bit. Jonathan, not so much. But you get it. Anyway. It's not bad that you like bullet points, by the way. You can like bullet points. I just don't speak in bullet points. I speak in pictures. So I do want to share something with you. I've been thinking about orcas. It's so crazy. Okay, see, how I got started on orcas is my grandson. He's 2, my littlest one, and I call him Captain Fantastic. He's beautiful. He's got this. He's just gorgeous. Anyway, I don't bore you with his pictures, but I could totally do that. But he goes to SeaWorld every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, rain or shine, my daughter takes him to SeaWorld. They got a SeaWorld pass. They go every Wednesday. And so he sees a lot of things, and for him, everything's a whale, right? Everything's a whale. Like, no, honey, that's a starfish. Whale? Like, he even says, like, whale? It's kind of a funny little way he says it. Whale? Like, I showed him a picture of a horse. What did he say? Yep, you got it. Whale? It's not a whale. I mean, he's 2. No one said he's bright, but he's charming for sure. But everything's a whale, except for one animal. No joke. It's kind of like my favorite animal in the ocean. It's the orca. I don't know why. He's just fascinated with orcas. He says, orca, orca. It's like he doesn't say complete whole letters. Like, orca, orca. It's so cute. It's darling. I really want to capture it and, like, keep it forever. And so he's tiny in voice form. So it's like, orca. It's fun. I love it. There's another shot game for you because I'm going to say it a few more times. Orca. Anyway, I've been thinking about orcas. And orcas fascinate me. And so, like, here's the thing. The orcas, like, and it makes me think about admissions. I started watching Blue Planet the other day. I was telling Megan this. Like, I watched Blue Planet, and I saw these orcas, and no joke, my wife says I got issues. I go places, I think about admissions. Well, grocery shopping, I think about admissions. I'm at a school play with my daughter, and I thought admissions, right? And I thought, man, like, I'm watching Blue Planet, and of course it's got orcas, one of my favorite animals, obviously my grandson's favorite animal, and I'm watching these orcas, and I think, this is admissions. This is what admissions does. See, orcas, they work together. They work together, and, like, they're in this particular scene that you're seeing, like, there's humpback whales. They're lame. Anyway, but these are orcas, and when the orcas, they work in concert together, right? And they've got these, like, large shoals of herring. Look at the humpbacks. They just, they think they're awesome because they're humpbacks. But really, the true gangster of the sea is the orca. Like, there is no predator for them. Like, they fight with the great whites. Anyway, here they are. Look, they're going through a pool of herring, and they're hunting them together. And they're using their click noise. They're doing that thing, and it's like, at once communicating to the person to the left or right, orca. Anyway, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a metaphor. Roll with it. They're talking to each other, left or right, and they're actually starting to work these shoals of herring. This is like particular orcas are in Norway, I think. And so they're working this shoal, and they're doing it together. They're utilizing their tools collectively to make a difference. You're like, Matt, are we seriously talking about orcas right now? Yes, we are. We are talking about orcas because here's why, okay? 2 things. Each one of you has a skill set. Each one of you has strategies, methods, things that you're employing to communicate to your students. And some of you are doing it to levels of effectiveness that are impressive, right? And some of you are like, okay, I'll send an email. Right? Think of an email as a single orca in a massive school of herring, right? It's just one orca going through, and when the orcas use together, they get the herring into like this big bait ball, and then they take their tails and they slap it because they've got them all surrounded, and then they just feast, right? Because they're all stunned and everything. But if you're operating, number one, on your own and trying to plow through your database with no strategy, without using your tools, any of that stuff, guess what's happening? You're going to get a small yield, and it's not going to make an impact. But, if you talk to, let's say, Pam. Pam is working Ontario, and suddenly we've got a wonderful resurgence out of Ontario because Pam is employing certain strategies, using email, using text. She's vectoring them in. She's using her tools that she has at her disposal, multiple different ways to vector these students into small areas, connect with them, be 100% Pam, and actually hunt through them, if you would, and pull those students out that are interested in Trinity, that are mission fit students, that are ready to make this next step at a university level. Okay, Josh, you've got a ton of dashboard tools and stuff like that. You yourself have got strategies. But Josh, I need you to speak up more. We need your voice in this group more. You got a head full of knowledge. Time to step up. You want to step up. I need you to step up with voice and say, team, this is what I'm seeing. This is what we got to do. Here's some things I've done in the past. Jonathan, this whole macro thing, oh my gosh. We'll get to macros later. It's a it's a game changer for a lot of us. But don't go out to everybody about that yet, Jonathan. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's big. You've got strategies. You've got ideas, right? We have got to start working our database differently. And we've got to start talking to one another and saying, hey, how are you doing this? And some of you are like, I don't really vibe with that person. I don't really understand them. Matt speaks in metaphor, so I got to speak to someone who's more linear. Okay, call somebody outside of your normal bandwidth and talk to them. Say, hey, look, okay, you have a different approach to that. You are getting some results and that I'm not getting. And how do you get this type of student and so forth? Look, we got to be collaborative. We've got to work together as a pod and attack this entire shoal of students. Okay, it's not that hard, but it is work, and we got to put work in. And I just think, like, one of the things that surprises me is that I was in meetings today, and here's the thing: sappy music playing. Sorry, it's playing in the background because I just felt like some gravitas. Anyway, here's the thing: I was in this meeting today with some people who have been here a very, very long time at the university, right? And they've got a lot of smarts, and they're deep in their knowledge of the university and the academics and so forth. And they whenever they refer to it, they think, or they're saying, this is how it is at TWU. Or they say we do things differently here. And the problem is that they're stuck in what they were, right? And I need us to recognize that we are greater than we think. But we are only greater than we think when we collectively look into each other and say, I need help. I need to work this. I only have 900 inquiries, and I'm going to need 1,500 inquiries to make this work. Or, you know what? I can't get these students on the phone. You got any suggestions, right? Or, hey, how do you find the time to log all these calls because you've been getting the calls in? Where do you find the time to do that? Hey, I have a hard time updating my calendar every week because Matt's getting on to me about my calendar. Okay, get an accountability partner on this team. Okay, Pam, pair up with somebody. Josh, pair up with somebody. Right? Paul, pair up with the Canadian group. Paul, pair up with Megan. Somebody connect with somebody that you normally wouldn't connect with on this team and start making connections and say, hey, I'm setting goals for myself. This week, I'm going after 150 calls this week. I'm going to conversions. I'm going to visit a school. I'm going to get these transcripts in. Whatever it is, set goals for yourself because we can't. A thin team, we cannot stay. We cannot stay in yesterday's thoughts. Mindset is everything. And if we're not embracing the idea that we are greater than we thought yesterday, think about how things are classically done, then we will never complete what we're being called to do. And so I'm asking each one of you to trust this process. Step forward, say, I'm going to do this. Here's the difference I'm going to make, right? Here's how I'm going to be accountable to this team. Here's how I'm going to deliver because I need that from each one of you. Okay? I can't push you and bird dog you, and I'm not going to. I'm not gonna bird dog people to say, oh look, you didn't get 150 calls this week, you missed your goals. I'm not. But you're gonna come in my office or we're gonna be on the phone and we're gonna have a conversation and I'm gonna tell you you're not doing your job. And you're not gonna like how that feels. So stop thinking 5 calls today was enough because I was really busy. You can get the calls in. You can engage these students, not just your calls, then send a text message, then look about emails, look at your Pardot activity report. What are those students doing? Call Kelty and say, hey, how can I identify more students in my pool? Look at the preview list. Who's RSVP? Have you called them? Who's going to come from a long way away via preview and you haven't had a call with them talking about their travel here? Have you sent them a travel waiver? Oh, boom, we haven't even talked about that, but we have travel waivers. We got to get that out there to them. Look, you are greater than you think. and you've got the bandwidth to do this work. 13,000 leads, that's nothing. If you think you're greater than how you thought about it yesterday. So I need each one of you to answer this call and show up and get the work done. And like I told you guys at our retreat, this is the team that delivers. This is the team. I know that. I feel good about that. I don't doubt a single ability in every one of you, but each one of you have different abilities. And you're relying solely on my charisma, or solely on my ability to process, or solely on my ability to send emails, solely on my ability to do this or that, or I'll get him a preview and I'll win him. But you're trying to woo him, and you're trying to woo him at the prom. You didn't invite him to the prom, but I'm gonna make my play because I'm a player, and you're gonna make that play at the prom, and like no one's gonna give you the time of day because you're not a player. So anyway, I don't know where that went, but it's like orcas, right? Drink. Anyway, so you get what I'm saying, right? We have to understand that we are greater than we think. You have the bandwidth to get this done. And so that's what I'm asking from each one of you. Okay? So let's make the calls this week. I know it's a busy week. There's a lot happening, but you can do it. So there was like 3 extra shots of Red Bull for each one of you. Okay? So thank you very much for your time. I don't want to go any further than that. You guys know how to find me, I think. Oh, by the way, never leave me a voicemail. Pam. Okay, I don't hear your voicemails. Send me a text message saying, Matt, I really need to talk to you. Or, hey, Matt, come in my office. I need time with you. Do that. Don't leave me a voicemail. That's just terrible. I take voicemails from students and Brian. That's about it. Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.